Go.
Oh, we're live.
Yes.
It's been a while between Monday nights.
Yes.
Welcome, guys. Novak News. You've got the Mr. and Mrs. Novak duo. We're going to be talking about the what are we talking about? I'm so sorry.
Real estate bullshit.
I'm coming off the back of a really busy day.
Real estate bullshit.
This is meant to be an intro. Real estate red flags. We're going to call it all out. We're going to call out the vendors. We're going to call out strata stuff. We're going to call out buyers. Stay tuned. It's going to be a fun one. I'm sorry. I apologize for that music. Actually, what happened there? We changed the intro.
It went all.
What is that?
Yeah, it went all like 90s rock.
Yeah. It's like if someone was playing an air guitar, that's what I'd imagine they're playing inside their head while they're doing that.
Wrong. But anyway, let's talk about real estate bullshit.
Real estate red flags, or as Mark is saying, we're calling BS.
Yes.
Guys, we're doing.
Seriously,
we see it all.
Have to clean up after the bull. The bullshit appraisal, the bullshit buyer, there's bull. And,
the agent who's talking BS, the buyer who's talking PS, the vendor who sometimes has just got their head stuck in the clouds. So we're going to be talking about what are the red flags.
The pool compliance guy that calls that does.
Yeah, we see a lot.
Leading people down the garden path. And because we're so volume based, industry based, straight away, bang, bull.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about it. Let's break it down. We're going to talk about it for the next 10 or 15 minutes. Guys, come to us. If you've got any funny stories, and we have loads actually, but if you've got any funny stories or if you've got any comments at all, just feel free to throw them in. Let's talk about some buyer red flags. I've got a list. I've got a big list here, guys. We're going to walk you guys through it. Let's start, Mark, with the too good to be true offers. The unrealistic price offer with the hidden conditions. What is that?
I had a professional boxer do this to me. Had a great auction campaign, Queenscliff, most expensive property in Queenscliff. It held the record for about 10 years. And we all thought it was, at the time, it was one figure. So this goes back a long time ago. And the price was circa 4.5. We thought 4.5. Market thought 4. Offer, first inspection. This guy was a pro boxer. Came through 4.3. We're like, no, the owners really, really want more. We got to the auction with a 4 million reserve. Tried calling the guy all constantly after his office. Bullshit offer.
The ghost buyer. What we call them, the ghost buyer. And listen, I'm not going to lie, I've had a few, that's for sure. Billy and I actually addressed this last Tuesday on our Morning Minute segment. The ghost buyer, the Mr. Faux multi-millionaire, usually presents him or herself at these high-end properties. They throw in these big offers and then they just disappear.
If they walk around with a 3-litre Coke bottle and they come into your office with a 3-litre Coke bottle.
I had that.
Do you remember him? And made offers on lots of properties. Bullshit buyer.
Even went as far as giving me all of his solicitor's details. I called the solicitor in front of him.
Yes.
And, I remember Mark going in and speaking to you and saying, oh my goodness, this buyer is offering on 2 properties. And, this is going back 6-7 years ago.
Yeah.
And they would have amounted to close to probably $10 million. And Mark said, I'm calling bullshit. Yeah. He's walking around with a 1.5 litre Sprite bottle.
All the time.
Yeah. Anyway, the ghost buyer, there you go, disappears after showing strong interest. Buyers that are asking for excessive cooling off periods. So the stock standard is a 5-day cool off period. We do see them, right?
Yep.
We do have buyers that wanting to exchange on a cooling off period. But if they're asking for a 10-day cool off right from the get-go, what would you say?
Why?
Why does someone need a 10-day cooling off period?
Give me a really
business
good reason.
day.
I'll take it to the owner and we'll try.
Yeah.
You've got to have a real good reason.
No, I'd always start with a 5-day cool off and then drip feed it if they need it. You give them 10 days, that's 2 weeks. Chances are they're going to take it. Too many decision makers when they're coming through a property. So the buyer's there, And then
they've got Mr. Uncle Know-It-All with them. They love it. Buyer loves it. Husband, wife love it. All makes sense. All looks great, commercially great. And Uncle comes through and says something really.
Well, or I always find over the weekend, you've got a great buyer. They've come through an open home. On the weekend, they go to a family dinner, and everyone is a real estate expert, and everyone knows exactly what's going to happen with the economy and interest rates. Everyone becomes an expert at a dinner table on the weekend.
Their gut and their heart of hearts was like 10 out of 10 were in, and then it gets like by an advisor who doesn't own property. And it's like, oh, no.
Yeah.
Happens.
It does.
Happens.
It happens.
Red
Guys,
flag,
we're talking about real estate red flags tonight. Feel free to throw in any of your comments. We don't mind if they're funny either. Vendor red flags. Sorry, this is for the vendors out there. Unrealistic price expectation. How often do you reckon this happens, Mark, in our industry?
We were unrealistic when we sold our place.
We were.
It happens.
True story.
But I think that motivation really, really matters with a vendor, and it's a red flag. I think sometimes some vendors like the noise and the offer, and they want to go shop that to banks or something later. So they're not really motivated to actually get out and get into the next thing. And you think, to be careful. But we all start high.
Oh, look, we all start high. And listen, every
Totally
vendor,
okay.
Including us, right? Every vendor, when we were selling, every vendor thinks their property is worth more.
Had a bank valuation for more.
We did.
Yep.
And, and listen, often it can be, right? We're not here to say that's the maximum amount of money that you're going to be able to sell your property for.
Yep.
I think it's important that we draw down on that. We give an opinion of value on a property. We are not the market.
Nope.
If we've had 70 people come through your property and they're all telling us where your market feedback is, and we're communicating that market feedback to you, and you're going, I'm still up here, but the market's here, and you're still being unrealistic. I'm saying to my vendors in that situation, you've got two options. You can meet the market, or you can hold your property and you can wait for the market to come up. They're your two options.
And you don't
unrealistic
need
price
longer
expectations.
12 weeks, 8 weeks, to acknowledge that, so I think sometimes agents will call crazy when it may get to 4 months, 5 months. You're like, look.
Well, how long's too long?
Yeah.
How long's too long?
Yeah.
Listen, we've been in a roller coaster market as well. There's no doubt over the last few years. A lot of the high-end stock is just sitting around. It's been a bit of a roller coaster, but the market is well and truly catching up. Stock levels are low. I know we've just gotten a little bit off course there, but stock levels are low. The secretive seller. Mark, what do you reckon about this? Vendors that withhold information on defects or legal issues. Red flag.
It's going to bite you on the bum.
It is going to bite you on the bum.
It's going to bite you on the bum.
Yeah.
But also, what
there's
about
an
the
obligation
people
there.
that say, don't put up a signboard, don't advertise a property, don't advertise your address, don't do this, don't do that, don't do this, don't do that. Sometimes
guides.
Vendor.
Don't do the guide. Don't put up the signboard. Don't put my property anywhere. Don't. It's like tie our arms and legs behind our back, and we'll try hop as high as we can for you.
Dance, monkey dance.
Yeah, that's right.
Happens.
Makes it tricky. Makes it tricky.
Oh, I've got a good red flag. Doing an appraisal at the moment. It is development. It is apartments. And the agents, the quality of the agents that are coming through don't know how to do that. Fact, you can actually have an agent come through that doesn't specialize or know how to sell that product and bluff. So we're fortunately probably the ones they've got most confidence in. But some of the clean-up conversations we're having behind the conversations that they've had with agents, it's like, I guess if you were the agent, you'd go there and have a crack. You know what I mean? But I think as a vendor, you've got to be really careful that your agent is equipped with that intellectual property knowledge, negotiation skills to actually fulfill that sale. So I think, it's a red flag when stuff doesn't turn up. One particular property, the agent turned up with a list of every property they've sold. we were given the list. So we went on RP Data, the Land Titles Office search, and verified that none of them were marketed, nor had they sold for those prices.
Wow.
So we went back to the owner, 7 out of the 9 sales or 10 sales were there. And the owners went, whoa. And we went, look, this is verified from RP Data. So these weren't 9 active campaigns and 9 active sales. So just be careful. And then we're going to
get to the agent red flags. I've got lots to get through, guys. Anyone who's tuned in, we are talking about real estate red flags. Real estate red
it's
flags.
A live show. Ask on Facebook, and you can we'll answer your question.
Commission shopping. So we're talking about, at the moment, we're talking about vendor red flags. Commission shopping, only choosing the agent based on the lowest commission. I addressed this. In fact, my podcast has just come out with Imi. Anyone who is not following my podcast, I suggest you do. It's called 25 Hours. There's a bit of a plug for myself. We talked about commission, actually, the commission cutter, and the red flags associated with that. I had Mr. 1.3% commission who he got a listing over me last week. And the vendor called and said, actually, my preference is to go with you, Lisa. Can you meet the commission? I said, I'm not having a race to the bottom. Like I'm not going to be your cheapest agent. I don't want to fly that flag either. But also, be aware, guys, of the cheapest agent. The cheapest anything comes with repercussions.
To give you an idea, a real estate business may run in sales on a 10% profit, say. If it's a larger business, it's probably a 10% profit. Smaller business, maybe 15% profit, 10, 20%. What did 10% say? And they're cutting commission by 50%. It's like, hang on a sec, I, with all the volume that I do, can't, and all the service that I offer, can't actually deliver that service at that price. That's below cost. The conversation or the thought then goes, well, what's the other guy cutting? Like, what are you, the body needs 2 arms and 2 legs. You're severing limbs of service to actually supply that. So be really careful that a good quality agent with good quality service, you're not going to get for half price.
You get what you pay for. When I said, who's doing a commission that cheap? Because that is alarming. Alarm bells should be ringing. If you're a vendor and you're watching this, you want to ask that agent, why are you so much cheaper than everybody else? Yep. But when they mentioned to me who it was, I said, well, they're probably worth about that, to be honest.
Yep.
That is the truth. Here we go. Flavio, red flag if property sold a number of times in short time frames.
Ghost.
It's a funny thing, Flavio. That's a really, really valid comment. People do. We advertise, we market when a property has not been sold for 40 years. People love to know that a property's been tightly held.
They love
On the flip side, people are very concerned.
So
when a property is flipped, you've got a good story.
Yeah, I had a property that sold, and the owners told me that their animals wouldn't go into this area of the house. And I'm like, after it sold, by the way.
Yeah.
And I was like, what do you mean? And the owner goes, Mark, do yourself a favor and jump on RP Data and see how much the house has sold. And the house in 15 years had sold 8 times.
Yeah.
All to different owners, not internal sales to family or divorce, nothing like that. It was all these different sales and all that. And I'm like, every 2 years this property's been sold. And the owner goes, we had a ghost person come out. They checked this, they checked that. And they said our pets wouldn't go in that area. We had friends' pets that wouldn't go in that area. They said the house is haunted, Mark.
I reckon it was.
But legally, they legally didn't need to tell me that. But I felt pretty bad when it was sold.
But and on that is a really, really valid point. If a property has transacted so many times, you do want to ask why, what's gone on here. Sometimes there'll be some data, guys, that shows up. However, if a property changed over title, as in the property changed from my name to Mark's name but didn't actually sell, often that will come up. You'll see that as well. That will have a digital footprint.
RP Data shows the marketing campaign. So if it was auctioned, it shows the auction campaign. It will show you active campaign sold. When there's no active campaign, you think, okay, maybe that was an internal sale.
Yeah.
These are active campaigns. By the way, do you believe in ghosts?
I don't know if I believe in ghosts, but I believe that there's something else out there. whatever you want to call that. Anyway, that's
Red flags?
another conversation. Okay, let's go. We're going to talk about agent red flags. The yes agent who tells the vendor what they want to hear, not what they need to hear.
The sugar coater.
The sugar coater. Everything's great. Yeah, but we only have one buy through. No, that's great. I literally, Mark, just got off the phone with a vendor, and we had quiet numbers there on the weekend. And the vendor said to me, oh, but we've only just launched the property. And that's Mark's phone ringing. Would you like to answer it?
No.
Oh. And the vendor said, oh, we've only just launched the property. I said, nah, well, I'd launched another property as well at the same time and had 30 groups over the weekend. I have alarm bells going off. And so we had this big conversation. She was like, thank you so much for the transparency. You will never get in trouble for telling the truth. Do not sugarcoat stuff.
You will often you'll be the red flag caller.
I love having the heart-to-heart.
Clients will call you and say red flag. You go, no, that's not red flag. Clients will call you and say red flag. You go, yes, that one's a red flag.
Well, you heard it today. I was there with a vendor and she said, she was a little bit concerned. She's having a bit of a tricky time. And I said, only worry when I say I'm worried, and I'm definitely not worried.
Yeah.
But yeah, beware of the agent that sugarcoats stuff.
Yeah.
Lack of transparency for an agent. Vague on strategy, buyers or offers.
Every offer you get submitted, Mr. Vendor, must have a Christian name and surname with it. By law, in writing.
Definitely alarm bells should be going off. If they are vague,
Yes.
if they do not know what is going on with your campaign, if they do not remember stuff,
Yes.
if they can't remember the conversations, and if you're not hearing from your agent, real estate red flag.
Red flag if you don't hear from your agent 2-3 times a week.
As an absolute minimum.
National average.
Absolute minimum.
Yeah. If you're hearing from your agent once a week, you're in trouble.
I want to talk about a real estate red flag that happened today. I had a lovely client who came in. They've been on the market with 2 other agents, beautiful property. The first agent, they signed the agreement with them, and I'm talking about this is a multi-million-dollar property. They signed an agreement with the agent, and then they didn't hear from them for weeks and weeks. And lovely lady, smart lady. And she called and said, just wondering, what's happening here with my property? Anyway, she just didn't hear from them. And I'm like, God, if you're not hearing from them at the beginning, you're definitely not going to be hearing from them throughout. So that agent's no longer on the campaign. Agent number 2 comes along and verbally abused her throughout the campaign when they had multiple offers.
Hey, red flag.
What?
If your agent's a bit of a pig.
No, that's never okay.
It's never okay. But I hear that sometimes.
I think you should report them.
I do hear that sometimes. Like agents actually just lose their mind during the campaign. And do you remember that one with the solicitor lady that was selling and the agent went ham on her? And she was like, woo. So not okay, red flag.
No, never okay.
Never okay.
Literally never okay. Nor should you ever be coerced into taking an offer.
No.
I had another client actually who was with another agent, and during the auction, the agent thought it would be okay to start bullying the vendor, and the vendor kicked the agent out mid-auction of their property. That is a true story. Guys, we're talking about agent red flags now. No track record in the area. Flashy brand, but no local success.
Next one.
You've just covered that earlier. Too many listings. An agent that's too many listings. What do you reckon, Mark? What do you reckon about that? Is that a red flag?
No. I think that if they're renowned for being exceptional and they're carrying a lot of stock, that's cool. But I think if they can be too busy. They can be too busy.
But I carry a decent amount of stock, and I'm never too busy for my vendors. Like I'm talking to everyone all the time. They're not organised, and also if an agent is a high volume agent that's carrying listings, they've got a great team there that supports them. I'm always saying it's like a It's like the Grand Prix. You've got the driver, and then you've got everyone else who's doing everything perfectly to make sure that the driver is winning the race.
Yeah.
That's, there's a good analogy there. But I don't know, like, do you want an agent that's got no listings looking after your property?
No.
I don't know. No buyer follow-up. This is massive. I had a
It's true, hey.
I had a buyer, you heard the conversation. I had a buyer who called me the other day, never spoken to the guy before. He called, I answered my phone. I always answer my phone. And he said, oh, an agent who answers their phone. And I said, yes. Anyway, we had this long conversation. He said, you're about the 8th agent I've called today. No one's answered their phone. Haven't received any callbacks.
Bit of phone tags in fashion.
No.
Yeah, I reckon heaps. These days, there must be a bucket load more voicemails than there was 10 years ago. I'm telling you, 5 years ago.
Just answer your phone. Anyway, he ended
People
up like
love
he literally, I sold him a property by the way that afternoon. I sold him a property, but no buyer follow-ups. Massive red flag. What's normal in the industry? We respond to email inquiries that come through within 10 minutes.
Yes.
True story.
True story.
Average in the industry, I reckon you're lucky if you hear back within 24 hours.
Yep.
Test the agent.
Red flag.
Could be Mr. 1.3%.
Red flag.
Test the agent. And if they're not answering calls, that's, massive red flag.
It's a big list
test
you've got
the
there,
agent.
Liz.
Okay, investment property red
going on
flags.
this phone.
All right, we're going to crunch through them, guys. We're going to do the next in just a few minutes. Strata levies and special levies. Huge red flag. Upcoming special levies. What do you reckon about that?
Sometimes I think it's opportunity.
Yeah, I don't mind that. I sold a property that had a special levy on it for $90,000 and still broke the record. No, this was the one that I sold not that long ago,
right.
And still broke the record for the highest price ever paid for an apartment in the area.
It's got to be justified. It's got to be such. If it's going to hardcore stuff, if it's going to lawyers and having a battle, stay away.
Okay, what else? Property condition red flag. Fresh paint over problems, covering up cracks. Strong air fresheners, masking odors. And I have a spray through a property before I start there. Odd layouts or unapproved changes.
Happening.
Red flag.
Red flag.
Yeah. Okay, there you go. I think we've covered off most of them.
Wow.
They are.
All
in 22 minutes.
Guys, a live show on Facebook. Make your comments. Flavio reckons.
Oh, I did have that on my list, Flavio. I did.
You skipped it.
I did. Where is it? Here. Hang on. Mark, you keep talking and I will find it. Here. Wrapped in Gucci. Slick agents or buyers with all the looks and none of the substance.
No
all
socks.
Style.
No socks.
Lack of professionalism, big. It's true.
Yeah.
We were talking about this yesterday, actually, with a few friends.
Yeah.
An agent came up. But they were talking about I had a big ego.
Yeah.
It's not cool.
No.
Just be normal.
Look, I think also with agents, because we're seeing so many people that open houses and they're in the industry for so long, sometimes they become numb. So I think the agent has to have empathy, has to connect with everyone. That's your job. Has to listen to people, 2 ears, 1 mouth. I think that's super, super important. Because sometimes when you, within the first 15 seconds, people, 80% of what you think of that person will be developed within the first 15 seconds. And I think sometimes that lack of professionalism, that big ego and that arrogance in the first 15 seconds shines through
I agree.
On the stinking agent, and you just remember that. You can't let go of that, through.
Not only that, people will never forget the way you make them feel. I had a property that settled today. Beautiful vendors, elderly people. They'd been in this property for over 50 years, cracked a record on their property. It was very emotional for them. They inspected 68 properties.
Wow.
And she said, Lisa, we never came across anyone like you. Actually, I meant to tell Jono, so I'll say it here on our Facebook Live, or Jonathan, who works alongside me. She said, what you guys did for us was over and above. And I said, well, but it doesn't stop today. Like, we're here for anything that you need. You just call.
So cheesy.
Got no family here. No, it's the truth.
So cheesy.
It's not, Mark. It's the truth.
Still
It's the
cheesy.
truth.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was the truth. She went and inspected all those properties. Yeah.
Said that.
Yeah.
Good compliment. That's the
Yeah.
person you want selling your property.
Yeah, there you go.
Mhm.
But yeah, the slick agent, I don't know, like if they're sitting at your dining table and they're telling you how amazing they are and how many awards they've won, I don't care if they're doing 1.3% comms.
I think that
Alarm bell.
when you're interviewing an agent, I think it's important that they listen, not just tell you how good they are at full stop. And I think if they have to display, every agent's going to say they're going to get the best price for you, but they have to display how they're going to get the best price for you. Experience, sales, buyer database, marketing methods, strategy, that sort of stuff. So I think
100%.
there's no use just flexing, saying how good's my suit, my tie,
No.
my
And, you know,
shiny shoes.
And the reality is, like, if a vendor doesn't see that, like the vendor that opted to go with the 1.3, my advice to her was just sign a short agreement, because if it all goes pear-shaped,
Great idea.
then, you know, sign the short agreement. It's going to be a lot easier for me to get you out of it. I'm not going to be doing 1.3.
Any sign of the red flag, short agency agreement.
Short
Don't
agency
give them 6
agreement.
months. Don't give them 4 months. Give them 1.
There's been not
Gotta
many
be.
a time, but there's been times where a vendor's called me crying, going, I made the wrong decision.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, you're stuck there for like the next 3 months, unfortunately.
If you do it
Yeah.
short. If you have any concerns and you're thinking, oh, I like both, but not by much, but not sure, you can always do a short agency agreement. So it just means the time you've engaged the agent is shorter, and then you can extend it.
That's it. That's a show.
Boom.
We're done. Thanks, Blavio, for all your comments. Guys, hopefully that's helped lots of people out there. And we'll see you again next week.
Love you. See you. Bye.